Okay, why should you go live every day? Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. I am Craig LeBlanc, your host, creating content for the Parks and Rec community 5 days a week, every day here at noon Eastern. We have a great show for you today. I really want to go over some stuff. Why do you need to go live every day? So I know I'm talking to a lot of people that are in content creation for your city, for the Parks and Rec department. This part-time job for some people, full-time job for others, depending on the size of your city, size of your department. And coming from a background of going live every day for 300 straight days, doing a 2-hour show on Bitcoin, part of the headache and the stress was coming up with content, coming up with speakers, what to talk about, what do you do about dead space? And that was 2 hours of content every day, 7 days a week. And so let me tell you what I learned about that, though. Number one, I learned that a lot of the problem was my comfort level, expertise, mastery around the skill of just holding a space. It's kind of like if you're throwing a party, it's hard to enjoy the party. There were times where I had people who would run the stage for me later down the road that it was night and day difference. You may experience it like, let's say you're driving a car. When you're driving, you feel fatigued, you're starting to get a little sleepy, and then you ask somebody that's with you, hey, do you mind driving for a little while? Let me take a nap. I don't know about y'all, but as soon as I get in the passenger seat, I'm relaxed. I'm awake. I don't need that nap anymore. Why is that? It's because when you're driving, you have to do so much more than just sit. You have to pay attention. You have to keep your hand on the wheel. You have to watch, what's in the rearview mirror. And all these are little micro stressors that you don't recognize while you're doing this. And so going live is very similar. When you press go live and people are watching you, there are micro stressors that come on. Some are very apparent, some are not. You'd be shocked at how when I brought on, I think we had like 15 other co-hosts that would help me run the Daily Bitcoin Show, which I don't have any co-hosts here yet, not yet. The first 75 days, really the first 100 days, I really didn't have any co-hosts. And so I am anticipating I will find someone in Parks and Recreation that really loves creating live content for their community, and will have them as regular show co-hosts with me. Maybe on a Monday, I'll have, some city that I'm close to, their media person that does all their social media content. They might come on the Monday show every Monday with me, and then we'll have one for Tuesday, Wednesday, stuff like that. But until then, here I am all alone as we're launching this, as I'm putting the accounts together. So you're going to be in the same boat I'm in. If you're going to start going live, if you're going to start creating live content for your city, for your Parks and Rec department, you may be alone for the first 3, maybe even 6 months, where you're the only one showing up. You're the only one creating the content. You're the only one figuring out why your mic isn't working. You're the only one that is trying to figure out the lighting, which I don't even have my lighting turned on. So I'm glad I mentioned that. I'm gonna watch the difference. Let's see if this. Well, the light just doesn't want to cooperate today. Yeah. So see, this is classic. This is classic. Oh wait, I know the problem. Hold on. Pardon me. Okay. I had unplugged it. So welcome to producing content. I don't know if y'all can tell the difference there. Yeah. See that little lighting difference? Pull it a little closer to the face. Yeah. So you have to figure out a lot of the lighting issues that you're going to have. You have to figure out the sound. You have to figure out the guests. If you really want to get your nerves in a bind, wait till the mayor comes on your show. or the park and rec director to make some big announcement, or they decide yet that they want your little daily show that's been going strong for 3 months and you're figuring it out and you're just starting to get comfortable with your little office and stage and lighting and everything just right. And your park and rec director is going to come say, hey, we got this grand opening of this big, massive, all inclusive playground or pickleball complex, and we want you there to go live. And you're like, oh my gosh, I've never gone live before remotely. I don't know if I'll have enough connection, whatever. There's always going to be something that's going to shake you a little. I can tell you when we were making the Bitcoin space, it was a live show, and really anybody from across the planet could come and ask questions about Bitcoin. And sometimes we would get these people called trolls. And I had never been trolled really hard. And it was 3 or 4 of them. They came on stage. They sounded very intelligent. They still were asking, technical questions. And then all of a sudden they started to troll my space, and I could not mute them fast enough. I couldn't get them off the stage fast enough. And a lot of the veterans were just laughing at me because they knew it was shaking me. Meanwhile, I'm in the middle of a 2-hour live show trying to maintain my composure and stuff. But when I started to add other hosts to the show, that happened to them. So I would have somebody in charge of like a Monday show, and I would just come as a speaker, but I wasn't running the platform. I wasn't in charge of the mute button. I wasn't in charge. So this is kind of live performance. Now, maybe or maybe not, you're not doing live, but you're going to have your own set of issues with any type of content you record or produce for the city, whether it's some tournament or anything else that you've got ideas around what kind of content would be good for your community. But there's going to be that one thing that shakes you. And when I would watch the new show hosts, here I had been hosting for maybe 3 to 4 months, and I had been through the war zone of my computer going down, my internet going down, we getting rug pulled by X, my mic not working, you name it. We had every single problem you can imagine. Computers crashing, middle of the show. And so it got to be where we just expected it was more or less, we got excited when something didn't happen because it was so rare. And you're going to have that same issue. But when I had these new hosts come on, I would see them get rattled by some troll, and I would hop on stage and just kind of mute them and just kind of keep it going. But I saw in them the same nervousness and how it shook them that happened to me a few months earlier. And so if you're in social media content creation for your city, now I know you're a little bit of a different animal than somebody that's just a YouTube influencer or somebody that's, maybe trying to create content, educational stuff, because you can't really go on to YouTube and say how to be a content creator for Parks and Rec. Literally, I think this channel right here is the only thing that we got on that very unique topic. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. The good news is you get to pioneer, and along with me and some other content creators, a whole new category of great content for Parks and Recreation, because you will be able to find a lot of just how to be a content creator, how to edit short form video, how to create thumbnails, how to make announcements, how to, work Facebook, how to work LinkedIn, whatever platform you're on for your city. There's going to be general information, but generally speaking, everyone creating content on this topic of content creation is not representing a city. It doesn't have the bullseye from lawsuits on its back that cities all have. So y'all have to be a lot more careful about what you say and what you represent. But don't be too afraid. You already have a bullseye on your back. You already make announcements. You already have a website that you're having to be careful about. You already represent the city in so many ways. You have schedules, you have calendars. The city has insurance for minors playing on their fields with adults, contact sports. So all that's already in place. You still have to be careful because, like I said, we all know how everyone wants to sue the city when they fall off the swing. Some states have passed some really favorable laws to where you really can't do that. And that reminds me, that's a great topic. I remember hearing this one space. Um, it was an attorney that represented some cities in Texas. And I think that's just a good topic to cover about what cities should think about when they're just really doing what they do. Because there's so much, sue happy people out there. Anyway, I don't want to get derailed too much. I'll just put that as a topic that I can bring somebody on for this. I think that would be good content. But anyway, back to content creation. It's going to be challenging for you to find specific stuff. And so that's one of the inspirations of creating this channel. It's super specific. It's not just about creating content. It's not just about starting any kind of vlog or any type of podcast. It's about building community. And that's your job. Your job in the parks is building community, maintaining facilities, hosting, being the place where people live, host events, quality of life. And, these are your future benefactors. These are the people that vote for property tax increase to fund parks. These are your future staff members that are having great childhood experiences at your parks and will one day choose to be in Parks and Rec, whether they're a superintendent, whether they're an electrician, plumber, or tradesman working for the city, whether they are a coach, whether they're working with the elderly, whether they're Parks and Rec director, and everything in between. That a lot of that comes from cities and the exposure that they're having real time right now in grade school, in high school, as grandparents. These are your people. And I want to encourage everyone to start building relationships and rapport with them daily here on social media platforms. We're going to demystify it. We're going to make it super simple. And one of the things, though, I need y'all to do, if you're in media management or you have that hat of I've got to communicate with the people, go live every day. Do something every day. Create content every day. And even if it's 15 minutes a day, this is Craig LeBlanc with ABC City, Parks and Rec Department. We just want to give y'all an update today. We have a grand opening of a playground that y'all have been seeing built, or you could say we had somebody get hurt on a playground. So we just want to give everyone a few basic rules around working around a playground. Make sure you watch your kids, make sure they don't do stuff that's kind of unsafe. Be there with them if they're pushing a little one on a swing. You can go over basic safety. This is a great topic to communicate. These are some great topics that I can think of off the top of my head that I've seen other cities communicate. They communicate how to host an event, how to fill out a form. They communicate safety on playgrounds. They can communicate youth sports coming up, season starting. They can communicate a need for lifeguards at high school jobs or concession stand workers, another good high school job. You can encourage people to apply to work for the city, whether it's in the maintenance department, if it's a college degreed person, come do an internship here, right? So there's so many great things that you can communicate. And then as you start to open up the communication tool and it becomes successful, and when I say successful, you just get a few people, a handful, 100 people in your community that tune in regularly, it'll start to grow in attention. And you'll see that your director and your mayor and your police chief and your fire chief and your superintendent would love to come on the show monthly and communicate things that they think the community should know. I'll ask you this. Do you think there's something your police chief would like the community to know? And have him on for a 15-minute heads up, traffic safety. Same thing with fire safety, same things. The superintendent who's in charge of picking up all the trash and cutting all the grass and maintaining the facilities. Do you think there's something he would like the people of his town to know? And how does he communicate that? Right now, how does the superintendent communicate to all the people that use your parks? Chances are he has zero communication. He or she have zero communication with them. And so as as the person in charge of media, you now can connect the staff of the Parks and Rec department with the community, and you can be that pipeline of information. um, Remember, you are a community builder. You are in charge of building the community locally, and you have been given all the property that has been passed down for hundreds of years in many cities. That benefactors have come in, property taxes have paid for, and now you are the steward of this and representing this. And so I think it's a great opportunity for y'all. But let me go back to, let's see. Okay. It's going to take some skill and it's going to take some time to master making content regularly. I shared with y'all a little bit about my experience as I created my other daily show of how I just needed to get better. I needed the practice. And so that's what having a little bit of the pressure of going live daily does for you, is that each day you're sitting down and doing incremental and finding those little ways to incrementally improve your craft of communicating. Um, and so it's kind of like if you have a coach, maybe a personal trainer that requires that you show up to the gym every day. Well, what you do each day is going to change as he understands where your start point is, where your goals are, and everything in between. Each day kind of changes, hopefully to move you from where you're beginning to where your goals are, moving from maybe not knowing much about working out to maybe being a master at working your body out sufficiently. Same thing with creating media. You don't know much on day one, you're going to know more by day 100. And so if you just commit to doing 100 straight days, well, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, let's just make content, even if they're 15, 20 minutes. Imagine each day you visit that, you mentally visit this one craft. And each day you're picking up one little nugget of information. So this is really more or less a good life advice. What you focus your mind on, that's what you're, become what you choose to focus on. And so if you have been hired for Parks and Rec to manage the social media, your skill set is going to be growing every single day. And I can think of no better way to grow that skill set than to just put the pressure on yourself to create content for the city each day. And then just let the process happen. And then just look back over 30, 60, 90 days at the growth that's happened. You will learn so much just by pressing record, going live. You will learn about what softwares to use. You'll learn your hardware stack, your software stack. You'll learn how to edit. You'll learn how to post. You're going to basically be building a community, a local community. And then your face will be familiar to your mayor, to your police chief, to your Park and Rec director. They're going to thank you for helping them get in touch with the community and get the word out. You would be shocked at how many life problems are caused by lack of communication. Well, cities and companies, organizations, nonprofits, churches, relationships, marriages, teams, communication is a bedrock of success in all the above. So imagine trying to run a city, no communication. Imagine trying to run a family with no communication. Imagine trying to run a company, no communication. Or run all the above with great communication, regular communication, open channels of communication. This is the opportunity that you have as a content creator for your city. You are opening up lines of communication from the whole staff to the whole community. The staff is full of people that might be concerned about sports, safety, cleanliness, leadership, new projects, writing grants, benefactors, high school workers, rec employees, you name it, all the above. And you're kind of in the middle helping the city, the Parks and Rec department, everybody that works there doing all that they do, communicate with the taxpayers, the benefactors, the future employees, the summer staff workers. Okay, so you're basically setting up for these community to talk real time locally. And some of you have the greatest communities. I love small communities um, that only have like 3 or 5,000 people. So that if you actually start a local channel and you've only got like 2 to 3,000 people, um, walking around town every day, you're going to get so much out of it as far as just building rapport, building a community online, and then they see you in person at the grocery store. Opening up communication just is like sunshine for any organization. So that's kind of why I'm personally inspired to do this for the Parks and Rec community. Um, and let me see what else I have for y'all. Oh, okay. Just to wrap it up, final thoughts on this. Um, Aside from this being the Parks and Rec megaphone, so you are the megaphone for the Parks and Rec department. Final thoughts: just talk to your people. You're in communication. So I don't know why you chose communication. Why did you choose social media? Why did you choose communication? Maybe you didn't choose this. You're just like the assistant director, and they were like, yeah, you be in charge of this. So now, whether you like it or not, you're in charge of communication. It really is just about communicating with your community. Just sit down and have a conversation. The conversation's online. Just act like you're talking to a person. A lot of times what I do is I think of someone who I have a long relationship with in Parks and Rec, and I just act like I'm talking to them, like we're having a conversation. Don't think of it like you have this huge audience and everybody's watching and all your boss and the future benefactors, don't put that much pressure on you. Literally just say, I'm talking to I'm trying to help my coach talk to his concession stand workers or his assistant coaches and the parents of the team, right? And I'm just setting it up for them to do that communication. And you can have guests. So imagine once you get it set up, after you put in your first 30, 60 days, now you're ready for guests. Now I'm bringing on guests early during the creation process, while I'm still setting up the studio, while I'm still getting the mic and stuff set up, figuring out the social media platform buttons to press. Just this last weekend, I made a LinkedIn account for the daily Parks and Rec show. This week, I'm going to focus on the Instagram and TikTok account so that we can get this content out there for all the Parks and Rec people. It's going to take you some time. Give yourself 30, 60 days to really set that up. And it might take you a couple hours a day to set everything up for you to get your feet up underneath you as far as hosting regular content. But at the end, when you're actually pressing record, just have a conversation with your community. Just make announcements, announce events. And if it's just 5 minutes of content, great. It's better than no content. It's better than not having a Facebook page. It's better than the Facebook page being dormant and no one really on it. Maybe it's just staff that's on it. You want to get community on it, and you want to start conversations. You'll find that on your Facebook, you can run polls. Hey, we're looking to convert. Here's a highly contested one. We're looking to convert our tennis court complex to a pickleball complex. We would like to take a poll to see who would want all of it converted, half of it converted, and then you're going to have one of three responses. The tennis people are going to show up with pitchforks and say, no, not on our grave. And then, or you're going to have the pickleball people do the same, or something in between. Those are your three options: all tennis, all pickleball, something in between. And then you come up with, but now you've got your audience, you've got your community, they're weighing in. And then if you ever need funding, if you ever need help with anything, these are the people that will contribute. These are the people that will volunteer to coach little leagues. And so it's important that you get them involved. And the easy way to get them involved is, remember, on this thing here, right? This is where we spend our time. Fortunately or unfortunately, so much of our time is spent on that. And so this is where you have to, this is the communication tool, right? And so this is what you want to get on. And believe me, all the little old ladies and the little old men and the high schoolers and the single moms and the families, they're all on it. Okay. And so having your content there is going to help you communicate best with your community. And I would say just have a conversation with them. Um, let's see, and just let them know what you're doing. Let them know what you're doing. Um, Gosh, with my experience with Parks and Rec, y'all are doing so much. There's a reason y'all are unsung heroes. It's mostly because nobody's telling people what y'all are doing. As much as I use my parks, I still find out all the time. I had no idea that this park in New Orleans did this every Thursday. Every time I go to my parks, and I'm a regular user, I find out stuff. I had no idea y'all had a concert on Thursdays for reggae music at the little, what do they call that plant thing? Arboretum. I forget where they go, the little tropical jungle. It's like a big garden center right in the middle of City Park. Same thing with the art museum. I just recently found out that the art museum in New Orleans in City Park is free every Wednesday for local people. And they have a great coffee house. So guess where I spend a lot of Wednesdays now? And I've been in that park, for many times 2, 3, 4 days a week, running, just enjoying it with friends and family. Never knew about that. And I'm a big coffee house person, and I'm a big park person, and I love art museums. And here I have one down the street, and I'm not using it. And so getting the word out and having a regular channel of communication is important. So, all right. So a few little things about the channel. We have our LinkedIn group. I think we're only up to, last I checked, we had like 5 members or something like that. Let's see how many we're up to right now. Might have, oh, look at us. We're up to 9, almost doubled. So after only a couple days in operation, we have 9 people on our LinkedIn group. I know I have thousands of Park and Rec friends and stuff. So hopefully, as I get the word out, please find us on LinkedIn and join us, because we could be going live with this very broadcast. And especially in January, when I'm probably going to have 10 to 15 interviews just in January. I would love for that to go live on LinkedIn, but until we get to 150 followers, I think they call them on LinkedIn, that functionality doesn't open up. So help us get to 150. Also, same thing with the YouTube channel. We're posting a lot of this. Hopefully y'all like our little thumbnails. We're getting better at making the thumbnails. Now, a lot of this stuff, thumbnails and these kind of educational stuff, that's not what you're going to do as a city, but you'll get in there and just remember, this is just a communication tool. Whether you're using it to make announcements, whether you're using it to educate people, whether you're using it to interview somebody, it's just a tool. Your city will learn how to use it. The key is just get it started, open it up, so that then the city can say, wow, this is a very neat tool. Oh, and you've got 200 people listening daily. We've got something coming up. I'd like to come on and make an announcement. Before you know it, you'll be the center of attention, because you'll have the megaphone. And some people might call that good job security. So if you're in content creation for a city and you're a college kid and you've just been assigned this illustrious task of being in charge of creating content and distributing it for the city, believe me, your influence is going to grow in that city, because when the people of the city, the staff, want to talk to the citizens, they're coming to you. So I would get busy building that platform. And I think, people in media and content creation for the city are going to be very important in these next few years. We have already made a huge shift towards social media, online content, getting our news from our phones on these platforms. And I would like to see the Parks and Rec departments of America just, a wave of creation coming out in communication. Anyway, that's my vision. Okay. So hopefully y'all are not going to be too irresponsible tonight. This is the last recording of 2024. What an awesome, awesome year it's been. We've got an amazing year coming up. I don't know about y'all, but I'm so excited about 2025 in general for planet Earth. We got so much good stuff going on with the creation of AI, with social media explosion, with our communities. Parks and Rec, I think, is more important than ever. Parks and Rec is getting a lot more attention. I love seeing people dedicate more of their life to being outside, to personal health, to yoga, to youth sports. It just seems like everything is exploding when it comes to people focusing more on quality of life. So as much as a lot of people want you to focus on what's wrong, we got a lot that's right, especially here in America, especially in the Parks Department. And I want to highlight that more and more this year in 2025. This is going to be the year of Parks and Recreation. So I'm excited to build this channel for Parks and Rec. And I'm getting tons of encouraging words from the community. So thank you all, everybody. That's really good fuel for me to keep going and keep building. Really appreciate all the feedback that y'all have given me. Thank you to all my January speakers coming up. We're probably going to have, I think we've got 10 pretty much scheduled, and I've got another 10 or 15 phone calls that I'll have that they'll probably hit January, February. So looking forward to that. Again, this is Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show, 12 noon Eastern, live here on Facebook and soon to be on LinkedIn. This will be reposted to YouTube. Please like and subscribe and share any content you see from us as we're building the audiences across all platforms. And we will continue to do our best at creating something exclusively for Parks and Recreation. So y'all have an awesome New Year's. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, safe travels. Please be responsible tonight, and we will see y'all next year. Thanks a lot, guys.